Welcome Coast Wiz Fusion and Zion Spartan to the desk. Guys, congratulations on the win. Coming to this one, you were 2-1 against XDG overall in the season. Were you kind of confident coming into it?
I'd say, overall, we kind of came into this week thinking that we'd go for the 2-0 just because we're kind of in a slump, and, that's what we really needed to pick ourselves back up. And, yeah, we're playing pretty confidently, I guess.
And actually, kind of coming into it, your stats are interesting because you guys are now 6-1 against the two teams below you, and 2-14 against the teams above you guys. You're actually very consistent against the teams you play.
Yeah.
And I find that interesting about you guys when you guys have anything. So, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like you're playing kind of the consistent level, or?
Just from saying that statistic, 2-14 from the teams above us, we're definitely not consistent right now, and I think that's probably our biggest issue, and that's something we want to fix. Obviously, beating the teams below us is really important so we can make it to playoffs, and the season's important, but where we really want to make our big play or really play well is the playoffs, because that's what really matters for the split. And hopefully, if we can fix all our issues, we can have a good pick and ban phase, we can not get caught out of position, be there for the dragon fights, do all these things that good teams do on a consistent level, not make the basic team element mistakes. And if we can do that for playoffs, I think we can do really well. And I think us doing really poorly against the teams above us really shows because of our lack of teamwork. And if we just have better teamwork for the playoffs, I think we'll do better.
And I guess with Fusion, it's kind of a big part of the teamwork can also be with the AD carry and being with the team. But in your guys' large slump that you went through before this victory, what were the main things contributing to that, and how are you hoping to break out of it so you can be in stride for the playoffs?
I think what really happened was in the previous games that we didn't really work on our teamwork. We kind of almost brute forced it to trying to win lane and just snowball the game, and that's why it really didn't work against those top teams, because they're so good at using their teamwork and getting the objectives. So, I mean, honestly, it wasn't really the fact that me coming into the team, it was a lack of teamwork. It was just originally there was no teamwork to work with. So once we started working on that, then it was a lot better, I guess.
I feel like even when we had our run during the spring split last season, how we won the game was just having really strong lanes and just hey, we're 3 times as strong as our opponents, so we just kind of win. And if that doesn't happen, then it's just oh, we're just all over the place. Our teamwork's just all over the place, and we just lose because teams know what to do in the late game better than we do and during the mid game. So now that we're improving that slowly, if we combine having strong early lanes with having strong teamwork, I think we'll be finally a decent team, and hopefully that will come about soon.
I was actually going to ask about that. I was well, why not just embrace the Jax play style and split push all the time? It felt weird because for a while you were kind of getting the Renekton and Shyvana a whole bunch more, the sort of standard top laners, and it felt like it wasn't working. You're just building a second set of strategies, or are you kind of abandoning the hyper carry top lane style?
I definitely don't think I'm going to abandon that play style, but in any given meta, there's a lot of certain champions that work, and in this meta, Cloud9, when we play them, they just ban everything that they've seen me split push. They ban Jax, they ban Lee Sin. It's what are you going to split push with now? So it's I need to not only have those champions that can be hyper carries, I also need to play the tanks, Shyvana, Renekton. If I'm solid at both of those, then even if they ban out my split pushers, I'll be solid on a tank, and I may be able to get the better tank since they targeted so many bans towards the split pushing strategy. So I think it's not only important to have that split pushing strategy, but to have just a regular team focused strategy of just picks, baiting Baron, sieging, and all that. And I think once we improve at that, we can also improve our split pushing because our teamwork has dramatically improved.
Yeah, cool. And just kind of still on the same topic of picks and bans, with Fusion, I want to ask you about the Varus pick because you played it 3 times in a row at the start of the year, abandoned it, and now you're back.
Well, I mean, actually, kind of throughout the seasons, I just practice it. I don't know, I like the champion. It's just a good champion, but it never really seemed to work, especially since there's other stronger picks, right? There's Sivir, there's Lucian, Caitlyn. So I practiced it maybe a week ago and then during this week as well, and it just worked in scrims. But this game I missed a few ultis, so it didn't work as well, and there was a Zed, so maybe it wasn't the greatest pick. I could have probably went with Lucian and would have been a little more solid, more consistent, I'd say. But I mean, it worked in scrim. We did really well with it, so I'm glad I was able to take a win with it.
Yeah, but getting into the team play, obviously, once you're out of the laning phase, it's back to the team fights, and at 35 minutes, there's actually a first really consequential Baron fight you guys have. If you can pull this clip up on the screen just to kind of jog your guys' memory to see what's happening, and talk me through what the goal was in this big Baron force, because the game was really close at this point.
Well, in the beginning, we kind of already knew that we weren't gonna. We didn't want to pick a fight while doing Baron. We kind of just wanted to turn. But I think we ended up.
Zuna opens
just
up and gets
turning.
one shot over
Yeah,
the
yeah.
wall on you guys.
Yeah, we really don't want to throw a Baron, so we're like, okay, guys, just turn immediately, kill Zuna, kill their priority targets, and get a good solar flare out. We immediately collapse on Zed when he ults in, and then we just slowly just build them down, and then Twitch goes invisible and sneaks a kill on Ari here, but we just clean them up and we're able to get the Baron.
Do you think he could have gotten 2 kills if he stayed on you with Fusion, or did you guys have him pretty much locked down?
I don't think he could have killed me there, just because I do too much burst when he's standing still.
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, speaking of your champion, though, Boots of Swiftness, Varus. Why?
Okay, there's 2 reasons. Usually, in like when you're playing a non-mobile champion, there's 2 things that's going to stop you, right? A CC or a stun, and then slows. Those are like the main things that are going to stop you from doing the most damage output. So when they have a Trundle, and that's pretty much it. It's just the Trundle. If I get pillared, I'm like. If it's a full CC, like a full slowed, then I'm pretty much screwed. So I made sure that if I was going to get Trundle pillared, if I was going to get maybe like Zed-E'd or Flayed, I wasn't going to be completely like zoned out of the team for completely screwed. So I just made sure that, I mean, it was just a solid pickup in that situation. I usually like it against Trundle, Eve. Those are the 2 picks right now that tend to have the most slows.
Okay. So the big slowing initiators. That's
Yeah,
interesting. So let's actually move on to then the second big fight you guys had. Took you guys a while to kind of get through it, but the second Baron fight, about 45 minutes in, I know Shifter opened up with a pretty good catch. If you want to sort of walk us through this one.
Yeah, so Lee Sin's over the wall.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And,
We made sure that we wanted to make sure that Lee Sin was going to die before we actually finished the Baron, so that he can like have the chance to steal it. Yeah, so he ended up just getting the pick, and then we just keep on turning on Baron. We noticed that Zuna was probably the main threat, so they just kind of left me alone eventually. You'll see that when Zed goes on me, or Trundle and Zed goes on me. So I'm just left alone in the pit.
Yeah, Shifter cleans them both up, so we decided to go on the other 2 of them over here, and we immediately just go on Zuna because we know he doesn't have any peel. We get on him, he just instantly blows up, and then we just go on Benny. He's just the Trundle. Thing about Trundle is, even though he's a tank, he takes away stats from the other tank. He's not really that tanky himself, so once you get on him, he just kind of dies really quickly.
And it seemed to work out for you guys, of course. You did finally collapse in that one, and of course, that was a well one. So tomorrow, of course, you're going to play another match that's going to be, I'm spacing. I know who you're
EG.
playing. EG, that's the one. How do you feel about coming into that match tomorrow?
I think even though we had a couple hiccups this game, I think we played somewhat solidly, more so than we usually do. Didn't throw up Baron. So I think if we just have a kind of clean game like we did, not necessarily clean, but a cleaner game than usual against EG, I think we'll be able to end it in relative ease. But I think Poe Belter will be somebody to watch out for. And Inox has been playing well recently. I saw him with that Lee Sin top with the teleport. He was really pressuring cruisers. So I think their solo lanes could be a big threat. But I think if we just play our lane smart and have superior teamwork, we'll be fine.
Yeah, and it's an even bigger game because they're your direct competitors for getting that last spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, basically, like this is like kind of like the bottom like 3 teams mini playoffs. Like everybody's just like TSM versus CLG. That was the real Titans match. But for us, Coast versus XDG, that was our Titan match because it was like who's gonna get relegated, who's gonna play LMQ, and luckily it wasn't us. We had a pretty solid game, and hopefully we're gonna have the same against EG tomorrow.
And actually, you guys, so you're 2 games above both EG and XDG. You're 1 game behind Curse and 2 games behind Dignitas. Are you looking to stay, like, just keep yourself in the playoffs, or are you trying to make that push towards the end?
I think we're still trying to make that push towards the end, like especially since we had a really big slump. We were really looking forward to improving as a team, and then just coming into the Super Week, especially, we just want to. I mean, obviously the goal is 4-0, but we really want to just get some games off on those top teams and not be 2-14 against them.
Yeah. Well, of course, good luck. And guys, of course, congratulations on your win. We'll see you tomorrow. And, of course, we'll see you in Super Week as well. We've got more games going on today, though. So to recharge our mana, we're going to be back for a little while. When we come back, it's going to be the final LCS game of the day, Curse versus Cloud9. Then we get into the North American Challenger